We're going to begin learning about the integumentary system by looking at the basic parts. So here is a cross-section of a typical area of skin. You have up at the top here the epidermis. So we can label it in the picture and then go write a little more information below. So epidermis is the top layer of skin. And it is keratinized stratified squamous epithelium. So think of the Chapter 5 flashcards you've been doing where you've been learning tissue types. Your surface of your skin, epidermis, is the keratinized stratified squamous epithelium. Then below the epidermis, you have dermis. So this is the main part of skin. Dermis is the bottom layer of skin. And it is made of two tissues. The top part of the dermis where you have these little bumps here, those little bumps are called dermal papillae. So this is the papillary layer of dermis. So the dermis is split into two layers. It has a papillary, which is made of areolar connective tissue. And areolar connective tissue binds things together. So it's there holding your epidermis to your dermis. Kind of think of it like glue. Then all the rest of it, all this part of dermis, is the reticular layer. And the reticular layer is made of dense irregular connective tissue. And this is what gives skin its strength and flexibility. Then if we keep going down, here you have the hypodermis, which can also be called subcutaneous. If you break these words down, hypo means less or below. So this just literally means below the dermis. Sub also means below. Think of like a submarine. It's a boat that goes below the surface of the ocean. And cutaneous means skin. So this is not part of your skin, but it's what's below your skin. And it has two types of tissue. The yellow stuff that you see here is adipose, which is just the scientific way of saying body fat. So you have a layer of fat just beneath your skin. And then it also has the areolar connective tissue. And this is what holds your skin to your body. Now, all of this that we've done so far, we're going to have more detail later. This is just the introduction and the overview. Each of these things, we're going to have later sections in the notes where we go into more detail on this. Now let's label some of these structures. You have a lot of structures in your dermis. The dermis has many structures. So let's label some of these. So we have here a hair follicle. And this is the living part. what you see here down in the dermis. Up here are your hair shafts. This part is not living. This is dead cells. So that's why it doesn't hurt to get a haircut, because the part that's up above your skin is already dead. We also have connected to that an arrector pili muscle. So you can kind of see right here and then right here. Connected to your hair follicles are arrector pili muscles. This is what gives you goosebumps. So if you're cold, or like something makes you really scared, or sometimes if you're really angry, like strong emotions or being cold will cause those muscles to contract, and that makes the hair stand up and you get a goosebump. You have sweat glands. This right here is a Merocrine sweat gland. Now you have another type of sweat gland that's not shown in this picture, and that is the apocrine sweat gland. The Merocrine sweat gland is shown here because it occurs all over your body. The apocrine sweat gland is not included in this picture because you only have apocrine sweat glands in a few places of the body. All these yellow things here, such as here and here, these are sensory receptors. So your skin can feel a lot of things. It can feel touch, pain, pressure, temperature. We also have blood vessels. And blood vessels everywhere in your body are there to nourish. They're taking nutrients and oxygen. They're picking up carbon dioxide and waste. The blood vessels in your skin do that, plus they have a second function, which is thermoregulation. When you're hot, they dilate to bring more blood to your skin so you can release heat. And when you're cold, they constrict to keep blood away from your skin to keep you warm. So your muscles are what make your body heat, and then your blood distributes it. So as your blood flows through your muscles, it gets hotter, it picks up the heat from the muscles, then your blood flows around in the rest of your body and distributes that heat. And when you have extra heat to get rid of, you send that blood to the surface of your skin and it distributes that heat to the air around you. Another thing attached to the hair follicle is a sebaceous gland. So in this picture right here, you can see it whole. And then here's a cross section of it. This is what makes the oil for your skin. And you have these little kind of squiggly purple lines going through the skin. These are sweat gland ducts. That's how the sweat gets up to the surface of the skin. And wherever the sweat gland duct connects, like right here, you're going to have a sweat pore, a little hole in the skin for the sweat to come out of. So this is a basic introduction, an overview of what's in your skin. And as we go through this chapter, we're going to have sections where we go through more detail on each of these.